Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GSL Crevasse, and I bring you Merz in the yellow trunks. He is playing Terran for Team Dignitas to the southwest of this particular map versus his opponent, the one and only Nerchio from Team Empire right now. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the southeast. Well, Nerchio is currently ahead 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. These are the group stages, bear this one in mind, folks. I've got one more series of matchups to come after this one. Now, if I'm totally honest, Nerchio just completely dominated Merz past about the 10-minute mark. Merz was looking pretty good with that early set of Marines. The problem is that Nerchio did see it coming, and he went pretty heavy into Roach. Now, he didn't actually go heavy enough into Roach, as it turned out. With siege tank support, that early push from Merz looked pretty good. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do a huge amount with it. He did some economic damage to be able to take out a couple of buildings, but Nerchio was easily able to deal with that and recover from it. Bear in mind, at the end of that game, Nerchio was sitting on 5 bases versus his opponent's 3, and he had already eliminated that expansion once. Merz limited to expanding beyond his natural, which is not what you want at all. Zerg 2 bases ahead is a very terrifying thing, regardless of how many upgrades you have, and as it turns out, Nerchio was able to turn that into a massive tech advantage, which was to be expected. Barracks coming out from, let's see, Nerchio, what you planning on doing here? Is he going to expand to his back? Yes, he is. There you go. Now, some players do decide to expand to this area right here, since you do have this very safe expansion, although it is vulnerable to, say, drop play and Banshee attacks, especially considering the close air positions we have right here. It would not surprise me at all if Merz was able to find out where his opponent was, if he went for some kind of early kind of air play, maybe some Banshees, maybe an early drop. It makes sense. You can do a lot of damage with it. Now, some players, of course, do decide to expand here and then use this expansion for later purposes, but he's not going to do that right now. Now, will Merz go for this same approach? It's an intriguing maneuver, honestly. It's a single barracks into an expansion with early stim and then 2 to 3 more, and it's nothing but Marines. It's a really early stim Marine defense, and it seems to work fairly well. You saw how easily it cleaned up Nerchio's initial attack. However, against enough roaches, it would prove to be ineffective. More to the point, will Nerchio go with earlier roaches, assuming perhaps that Merz will do the same thing? I don't know. We will find out. I suppose it depends how much scouting information he's able to get. He does have an Overlord on the way. Should be able to get into the back of the base without too much of a problem. We see that Merz hasn't actually moved to intercept that just yet. He's able to get the drone past as well. That's critical. What will he find? He's going to find one. Yes, will he see it? Will he see it? Come on, spot it, spot it. There you go, he spots a single refinery. It's actually pulling out barely anything right now. He's only got a single SCV in it. I have to wonder if that's intentional. Surely it is. With the stim coming down, he doesn't really need any more gas. So here comes the expand. Stim into that expand, and then he's going to do the same thing by the looks of it. So I'd have to wonder, if is Nerchio going to do that? He must have seen that there was only one SCV going into that refinery. So he's going to think, well, that's a similar build to last time. Speeding upgrade is on his way. We're not seeing roaches just yet. It would not surprise me one little bit to see roaches coming. None of that nonsense, thank you very much. Nerchio, will you go for it? If he doesn't, then Merz is going to have that same early game advantage that he did last time. So, it seems like he would. I thought he was going to go for something completely different, but whatever the case, those early speeding attacks really aren't going to help. He's not able to get the numbers he needs. He can't get that critical mass. That is a second extractor going down here, as opposed to down there. That's interesting and really weird. I don't know if it probably doesn't signify anything, it's just kind of weird. There we go. 2 more barracks coming up right here for Merz. Same build as last time, that early Marine aggression. And more to the point, that early Marine defense. With the bunker. I don't know, it seems weird that Nerchio wouldn't try and take advantage of that with an early roach or something like that. Or maybe just lots of early banelings. Admittedly, with the stim and without that centrifugal hooks upgrade, it could be a bit dodgy. And Merz does get stim incredibly early. He's almost completed it. It's not finished before the 6-minute mark, but that is a really fast stim here from Merz. And then you'll notice that he actually pulls pretty much everything off the gas, and then after that starts to throw it into the gas once he's got his expansion up. 2 more reactors coming in. Engineering bay up. And there's the later roach one for Nerchio again. This is playing out exactly the same as the last game. I'm kind of surprised to see Merz not taking advantage of the fact that his opponent does have this very exposed natural right here. No Banshees or anything along those lines. Nerchio has no defense against that kind of thing. He does have 2 Queens, but that won't do anything. Evolution Chamber only now finally on its way, building at the 6.5-minute mark. An early Banshee attack would have done significant damage, although I suppose Merz 1 isn't kind of comfortable with that build, and 2 didn't really want to go for it because his opponent did manage to get some good scouting information. He was able to slide 1 drone past, and I believe he even got the Overlord in. At least he would have if there was any purpose of doing so, since he was able to get all that information anyway. He could easily slide in another... I don't know, actually. No, he probably couldn't. Not without the speed upgrade. Not anymore. Nerchio taking map control once again. +1 melee attack upgrade coming up, and the lair. It's just, I don't really... I'm trying to figure out what exactly this is. I mean, it's great defense, don't get me wrong. It's just, what does it transition into? Well, it transitions into Marine Tank, but it seems like it's a little bit late. Now, this is the kind of opportunity he's looking for, perhaps. Do we have roaches on the way, though? We do. Do we have enough? 6 roaches versus 18. Oh, he's got 8 coming in now. I would think it probably would be. Without +1, I would almost certainly see that being the case. Merz is able to push forward. He may be able to harass this expansion, possibly even deny it temporarily. A lot of fire coming in right here. Gonna chew his way through those destructible rocks. They do not actually have armor, so they don't take a long time to get through at all with Marines. Nerchio is ready to receive. He does have 8 roaches on the field. Is that going to be enough? Army supply count slightly in favor, not anymore. There we go, that's 10 roaches on the field, plus a couple of Zerglings. Combat shield just complete. He doesn't have +1 upgrade, however, and he won't be able to hold this line at all. Merz is going to have to fall back almost immediately, getting a few sniped off there by those roaches, no problem whatsoever. And he actually waits to try and hold it. That's a little bit dodgy, because that, of course, means to sacrifice. And there comes the counterattack. He's got the reinforcements that he needs, and he's able to chew through it. And he didn't even go in there with a +1. He didn't have it. He loses a lot of Marines. But here come the reinforcements from Nerchio. He's able to clean it up. And it was a nice counter push there by Merz. Turns around at just the right time. I don't know. I feel if he'd let a couple of seconds more and he had that +1, that would have made loads of difference. Either that was a mistake, or he just didn't really take into account the fact that Nerchio would be pushing with reinforcements from the rear. Work supply count, as you would expect for Nerchio, is looking very nice indeed. It's looking nice the last game. It's looking nice this game. No shocks there. Nerchio sitting comfortably on 3 bases versus 2. Now, tech-wise, what exactly is Merz planning on doing? Is he doing the same thing as he did before? Tech Lab coming down has got to be, really. It's double factory play, though, so maybe not. It could be a mix of Hellions in there as well, but Hellions won't really do all that much against the roaches, as you're well aware. But there are plenty of openings for some harassment here. Infestors on the way up right now for Nerchio, and once again, Merz with a quick push out. It's not going to do a huge amount. He does have 33 Marines coming, by the looks of it? Yeah. He's got 30 right now. He loses 1 already. Trades it for the Roach. Nerchio deciding, is this the time to push in? Well, perhaps it is. There are no tanks on the field. He could do significant damage here, but he's still up against Medivacs and 30 Marines. This would be the kind of time. Now, if this goes in this direction, then Nerchio's going to see this coming a mile away. He might use this as an opportunity. If he's got any sense, he probably will. But the thing is, he will have to respond to this drop, so it's dicey. Nerchio, does he have what he needs? He does. He can actually fungal here. If he waited, did he not see that coming? Yes, he did. There we go. A fungal growth will nail this down nice and easy. He's not going to follow it up just yet. Looks for surround and a fungal combo. Oh, yeah, you're not getting out of that one alive. Bare minimum damage done. Good, very good right there. And no medevacs for you, I'm afraid. That was an excellent denial right there by Nerchio. I almost thought he wasn't going to intercept, but he gets it. Nerchio doesn't really have the unit he needs to make a big push on this line, and now Merz bunkering up. He has no intention of going anywhere. Siege tanks on the field. Siege tech is also available. He decides right now that he wants to cancel out of that. He's going to go for it anyway. He actually does have control of this Zelnaga, so he's aware of what he has, and these infestors have no energy. That's going to be a little bit dicey. However, is it enough firepower on Nerchio's end to actually deal with this? Look at this. Excellent Marine micromanagement. He's able to do good damage. Pushing forward once again. Nerchio needs to back away, or does he? I don't know. It's pretty dodgy, honestly, for Merz. Merz is getting very aggressive. And honestly, I think Nerchio's just playing for time right now, looking for 1 fungal. It's all he really needs. There we go. 2 more infestors moving in, and Merz not in any position to do damage here. Army supply count, worker supply count, both in favor of Nerchio, which is to be expected. Another base, this excellent macro style with the Zerg on 4 right now, 3 expansions. Messy stuff. And honestly, Merz doesn't really have what he needs to repulse any kind of push right now. Now, you might say, well, he's got a lot of tanks, but look at the amount of infestors. It's 9 infestors. That's a huge amount of damage. Not to mention the possibility of throwing infested Terrans at those tanks. All sorts of wonderful things could end up happening right here for Nerchio, and Merz is not going to like any of them. Charging into the defensive line once again. He sees what's up, and Nerchio not really in any position to push through that right now. At least he doesn't feel that way, and I don't blame him. Thing is, with Neural Parasite, he'd be able to nail this down, no problem. Merz moving forward. I suppose he is forced to expand, but this is a bit of an opportunity here for Nerchio. Nerchio could actually go in here. It's a shame that he hasn't. He has no visibility. Oh, if that Overlord was only a little bit closer, he'd spot the expansion, and he could have gone in there before those tanks were deployed. It's still kind of dodgy, because those Marines are out of position. I think Nerchio missing a critical opportunity right there. Hive up for Nerchio, almost complete anyway. Neural Parasite upgrade on the way. That lack of scouting information for Nerchio isn't helping him at all. You will see him pushing through there, certainly. He's got to have thought then maybe, just maybe, if he's pushing through there, he must have expanded. Nerchio looking for an interception, and he's going to get it as well. Look at the high ground. Oh, he nails a couple, and Merz is just able to get out of position. There's another fungal on it right there. Merz almost moved right back into that. Oh, that's nasty. Well, that's a lot of energy expended. He didn't actually take the medevacs out, so that wasn't too bad at all. Merz able to hold that off without too much of a problem, and he's got the mobility he needs to easily get back into position and deal with this. Right now, though, I'm still really concerned for Merz, simply because of the massive economic advantage that his opponent's got. Look at that. 88 work split is 65. Sitting on, what, 4 bases? Oh, yes. Nerchio is really under absolutely no risk at all. Merz is just turtling up, which, to be fair, is to be expected. That's a mistake. Don't want to be doing that. Oh, wow. Merz caught out of position, straight on a creep. Big damage being done, cutting his way through that. Neural Parasite. Look at that Neural Parasite fungal growth combo. Nerchio takes control of the siege tanks and rains down death and destruction on the Marines of Merz. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. Huge amount of damage being inflicted right there. Merz taking it, and Nerchio with a little bit of a slip at the end, running into the more of those siege tanks, taking unnecessary damage, but he does have an Ultralisk Cavern complete. He's got the upgrades coming in as well. And he's certainly got the economy to support this kind of thing. Look at this. 6 bases right here for Nerchio, and 3 for Merz. Merz really getting dominated on the economic side of things, if I'm totally honest. And that combo right there for Nerchio was excellent. Comboing the Neural Parasite with that fungal growth makes perfect sense. Lock down the Marines in a nice big tight bunch, and then of course do massive damage. Nerchio pushing forward. He knows exactly what his opponent's doing. He has full map control. He needs to stim out of there as quickly as possible. He's able to do it. That is a big, big group right there that those infestors could have nailed down easily if they were just able to get in range. 7 Ultralisks on the way. This could be the end for Merz. Would he be able to hold off that kind of aggression? Level 3 melee attack upgrade coming in. And here comes Chitinous Plating. Well, well, well. A little bit of a drop coming on, and I do mean a little bit. It's not a huge amount of damage you'll be able to do. I mean, he can do some cleanup right there. The thing is, with the amount of map control Nerchio's got, he's easily able to respond to all of these drops. I mean, you see he's got Zerglings all over the place, which is absolutely ideal. He's got control, or at least he did have control of the Zelnaga Watchtowers. He's got this one right here as well. So nothing's going to happen here. Nerchio has full control. He's actually looking to get his opponent into a corner, maybe nail him down with fungal growth, which is exactly what he does. There we go. Nice, nice freebies right here for Nerchio. He's not concerned one little bit for that. Merz attempting to expand, and this is going to be risky. Can he defend a front of that size? Up to this point, he's had enough tanks to hold this area, plus the Planetary Fortress, but this is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Nerchio pretty much maxed out right now. Ultralisks now on the field. And here it comes. Looking to deny that expansion. Of course he does it. No problem whatsoever. Nerchio pushing forward. Takes control of the vast majority of the map. He's not willing to run into the large collection of tanks right there. Admittedly, Neural Parasite would easily clean those out. Does he have the energy for it? He does. On a lot of those infestors. Not pleasant. Level 2 vehicle weapon upgrade. Merz just sitting on those 3 bases, and once again, this is going to be the same kind of situation that we saw last time, but this drop could be quite effective. Looks like Nerchio is completely out of position for this. He looks to respond to it, but I would think that this hatchery will at least go down. There's a lot of firepower coming down right here for Merz with those +2/+2 Marines. Forcing his opponent to come back, and will he expand behind this? Surely he will. You would think so. There's still a large force right there. He's actually not pulling his entire force. Does he need to? He actually... Does he? I don't know. With the adrenal gland upgrade, look at that. It chewed through a large number, but he didn't quite have what he needed for it. He's going to be forced to pull back yet more units. That's not what Nerchio wanted at all. Here come the Ultralisks, and he's also going to show the Ultralisks to his opponent. Up they go, and no infestors for you, I'm afraid. And, of course, no other way to deny those drops. Kind of surprised that Merz didn't do the drops earlier on that base. It's been vulnerable for a very long time. He did try one earlier, but I think he could have gone in much earlier after that. He's just been hanging around for about 15 minutes doing no drops at all. Ultras, the problem with Ultralisks is that they don't fit. Look at that. There's a bit of a fungal growth going on right there. Will he be able to clean up? He might be able to if he's quick. There we go, another fungal. And those should be easily taken out. But yeah, Ultralisks, not the most effective defense unit in a tightly packed base. They just don't fit. In the meantime, Merz is using this opportunity to push forward. That's a good idea. That's a lot of siege tanks and a lot of upgrades on them as well. +2 firepower coming down right here. Here comes the neural parasite, however. Oh, wow, mass neural parasite. Nerchio cleaning up by the looks of it. Huge amounts of damage coming down. Those Vikings are utterly ineffective. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Siege tanks, what are you going to do? Not an awful lot. The Ultras are plowing through right here. There's no defense left. Merz doesn't have anything to hold this one on. He looks for it anyway. Planetary Fortress, no. It's not going to do the job. It's a drop in the back of the base. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Merz has nothing left. His army is in tatters. Those Vikings actually have nothing to do, really, other than snipe off some overlords and try and be a little bit pesky. Another one denied right here. Those Ultralisks rolling over everything. As Merz tries to desperately hold the line against this final assault. Will he be able to do it? I don't think so. Not with that amount of Ultralisk firepower. It is quite a tight area. He's taking a lot of siege tank shelling from here, but he's able to finally make his way through. Infested Terrans into the siege line. GG. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And Nerchio cleans up against Merz 2-0 in his best of 3 series. There you go, folks.